This is Vlade with Travel Through My Lens. I'm in Virginia City today. I'm glad you're able to join me on this video tour. Virginia City is known for its discovery of Comstock lode that happened in 1859. In 1849, there was a gold rush in California, and this was the next big event that happened in 1859 when the Comstock lode was discovered, silver, gold. It was the first major silver discovery in US, and by 1873 the population grew to 25,000. Virginia City was known as the richest place by 1870 because of the large amount of silver and gold that was found here. It was said around 400 million of gold and silver that was found in dollars. In today's price, it would be around 20 billion dollars. So it was known as the richest place at that time. There's roughly about 10 million visitors and tourists that visit this Virginia City each year. Virginia City is located about 25 miles of southeast Reno, Nevada. It's about 25 minutes away from northeast of Carson City. It's about 45-minute drive from South Lake Tahoe. It is located on a mountain, Davidson, with an elevation around 6,000 feet. To this day, as you can see on the video, the buildings, they're pretty old buildings. They're Victorian looking buildings. Even the boardwalk, the sidewalk that you walk on, is made out of wood, old wood. As I was walking on this wood, you could tell it's got some years on it for sure. And just the whole town, you have this feel like you're in a cowboy movie, with Victorian buildings, the structure, like you're back in 1800s. Here in front we have the roasting house, one of the coffee shops here. They have some daily coffee shops, some restaurants here. They have about 10 saloons here. If you're planning to visit, there's I can assure you there's definitely some places that you can visit here for sure. This spot is pretty popular for bikers. This place is known to have bikers to stop by and grab a drink, just hang out. Because it's located on a mountain with a high elevation, a few times in the winter time you'll get a nice storm, a nice snow coming down here. As you can see, a little bit of snow is still on the ground that's left from the previous snow storm.
I'll save it every time. That's not the issue.
Here is one of the museums that they have here. This museum is called The Way It Was. This museum has some of the items, things that was used for mining. It's vintage, it's old equipment that was used for mining, for finding silver and gold. As you can see, some of the items here in front. Most of this stuff it's pretty old. It's from 1800s, but they kept it, and a lot of tourists can stop by and take a look of what kind of equipment that was used for mining. Here are some more of the items that's located in the museum. Here's another museum. It's called an Assay Office Museum. And this is where the miners could have their raw gold analyzed, with its weight and value assessed, or they could even test a sample by fire assay. The multi-step fire assay process extracts gold from the ore using heat, chemicals, and other reducing elements. Over there we see a cigar bar. We see a pizza place right there. Another Red Dog Saloon, which is one of 10 that's still left. Of course, there used to be a lot more in 1870s, when the population was 25,000, when it was booming with with silver and gold findings. But it's still a great town. Here in front there's a jewelry store. Old time photos. A gift shop. If you want to come here just to shop around, they have some shopping places. You can shop around, find some gifts. Here's barrels of candy. Here's the candy store. If you have a sweet tooth, this is a place for you for sure. A lot of varieties of candy, sweets. Silver Queen Hotel is one of the oldest hotels around. It's built in 1870s, and even to this day, most of the inside of it, the stairs and rooms, They're pretty vintage, Victorian looking. It's almost like you're back. You're staying at a place that's back in the 1870s. Across the street, there's another hotel called Silver Dollar Hotel. Coming down here and staying in one of the hotels is one heck of an experience. Just having that vintage Victorian kind of vibe will take you back in time, and it's an incredible experience just to stay in one of the hotels here. As I'm walking up the street over here, you can see some of the snow still laying around from the previous snowstorm that came down. A lot of it has already melted, but you can see there's still a little bit of snow left. I'm coming up to the street, and that building, it's Piper's Opera House. It was built in 1885. It hosted a lot of famous people. There's quite a few shows that would happen appear here. There was Mark Twain would perform here, and other famous people. A lot of shows. Here's another beautiful building. It's a Victorian building. It was built in 1870. It used to be a jailhouse back in the day, but now they're converted it into a courthouse and a DMV. They did some remodeling. Looks a little bit modern, but it still has some features that is from Victorian.
That's it? Didn't you give me one with the change tape? Yeah.
Here's another saloon. It's called the Delta Saloon from 1876. There's about 10 of saloons. They're still open, still going strong.
See, look at those kids right here.
This is a jewelry store right here. Here I'm just stopping by, checking out some of the gifts shops, some of the shopping, some of the jewelry that they have for sale here. Just miscellaneous types of shopping that you can do.
It has reflective tones in it that mimic other colors, but the gist of it is white.
Is it this?
As I'm walking in this store and looking around, I'm seeing an amazing artwork. Such a great work with diamonds and rocks and just stones. Artwork is amazing. It's been done here. People are buying it as a souvenir, as gifts.
Pop right down your throat.
Oh, this is that rock. These are
This right here, this place, the Washoe Club, is known for having ghosts in there. There are people who have experienced ghosts going to Washoe Club, and it's there's a lot of reviews on the net that you can check out, and it's one of the places where people saw ghosts in there. So if you're into ghosts and you want to experience something like that, the Washoe Club is one of the places you can check that out. One of the things that I've noticed as I'm walking in this place is just the different types of buildings, the Victorian types of building that I see here, old style buildings, even just a sidewalk that you're walking on. It's made out of wood. It just brings back that feel like you're in 1800s, and it's just a great experience to where you don't see that every day, like in a city. If you're living in a regular city, this is something that you definitely, as you come down here, you get the feel for, like you're going back in time. Get the feel for all this old Victorian buildings and things around here. Virginia City is also known for ghost town. There's quite a few hotels that's been known to have ghosts in there. Washoe Club is another place. So there's quite a few places in here where it's known to have some ghosts in. Here I'm walking with a nice restaurant, barbecue place right here. Looks pretty delicious. Here we have a historic Fourth Ward School Museum. It's open daily from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. But during the winter, it has different hours from Friday through Monday. It's open from 10 to 2 p.m. It was designed and completed construction in 1876. Back in the day, it was used for school, grades from 1 through 9. And then grades 10 through 12 were added by 1909. It graduated its last class in 1936, and it was sitting closed for many years until 1986, when it was reopened as a historic Fourth Ward School Museum. This museum features exhibits of the history, 19th century education, has things about Mark Twain's life, has things about related to area mining and a letter printing press. On the right side, we have elementary, middle school, and high school. And as we pass the schools in front, that's St. Mary's Church. It was Nevada's first Roman Catholic church. It was built in 1868, but then it got burned down, and so it got rebuilt in 1876. Check out the old street names signs made out of wood, just like you're back in time. Right now I'm walking towards the train. So now I'm walking on the F Street in Virginia City. I'm walking towards the train. They have a very cool train here that you can purchase some tickets online, or come over here to this place over here and purchase it in person. And you can ride this train. It's open to the public, and sometimes during the holiday seasons it sells out really quick. So if you're thinking about possibly coming down here and riding this train, like on certain holidays, certain times of the year, make sure you book it early in advance, because it gets sold out really quick. They have a steam train and a diesel train, and it varies from pricing. So if for an adult, for a diesel train ride, it's about $15. For a steam ride train, it's about $18 for adults, and children between 5 and 12, it's $8 for the steam and diesel train ride, and kids under 4 are free. So they have a 35-minute round trip train ride from Virginia City to Gold Hill, and it will take you back into history over a scenic Virginia and Truckee Railroad. You could hear the conductor narrate remarkable stories of the Comstock Bonanza. And as you're going on this train ride, you get to experience and see some of the mines that was mined back in the day that made this place popular, made people millionaires. You get to see the places where they find silver, gold. So as you go on this train, you get to experience and see some of this nice locations. Throughout the season, they have the regular daily train rides, but they also have special occasions like on Halloween or Christmas train rides. And on those days, I would recommend you guys reserve much earlier and buy the tickets earlier, because it will get sold out really quick. Here is Mackay Mansion. John William Mackay, he was one of the 4 Bonanza Kings. He was a rich person, one of 4 who found silver mining at that time in 1870s. He was in partnership and capitalized on the wealth generated by the silver mines at the Comstock Lode. This is a museum and it's open daily 12 to 5, $8 for adults.
So welcome to the Mackay Mansion. My name is Jade. I'll be your tour guide today. We are standing in the 5th most haunted building in all of Nevada. It is also the oldest constructed building here in Virginia City. This is the Mackay Mansion way back in the day.
Oh, nice.
And this is the Golden Curry mine that used to be just across the street. We're actually standing in the old mining office for this mine. So this is where they would do the business side of things throughout the day, and also where the miners would come to collect their daily wages. Right there below the clock is George Hurst. He built the place back in 1859 for only $400. Through his time of owning the mine, he ended up making over $15 million. So if you guys have heard about the Hearst Castle, that's in California, his son William Randolph actually built it with the money that George made here. So pretty cool that it all started. Excuse me, that it all started here.
Yeah, a lot of Californians.
Yeah.
With money here.
Right? In 1871, he decided to sell the mine and the mansion to John Mackay. George thought he had completely wiped the mine of all the silver. He was, of course, a little bit wrong, though, because just 2 years after Mr. Mackay bought the mine, him and his 3 business partners, James Fair, James Foote, and William O'Brien, they ended up hitting the big bonanza strike, which made them $100 million. Yeah. Nowadays, that would equivalent to a cool $3 billion, so this easily made them the richest men in the entire world at the time. That's why they're called the Bonanza Kings or the Silver Kings of Virginia City. So if you guys hear they're around town today, it is them for. Also, the Bonanza King has a great book about it if you guys wanted to learn more about the history. But yeah, so that's that. This display case was built into the mansion in 1859 to display ore samples for investors. If you guys take a look at this quartz sample right here, those dark veins are actually real silver. Pretty cool. This one also has silver in it if you guys wanted to hold it. Kind of cool.
So which part's the silver?
The dark stuff as well.
All the dark stuff?
Yeah.
Wow, they look different when they're on the bar.
Right?
I see the silver bar. And
Yeah. Looks a lot different.
so they would extract that from the rock?
Yeah, actually how they would do that is they would put it into this thing called the smelting pot or the crucible. They would crush it up into a talcum-like powder and then mix it with some pretty toxic chemicals such as cyanide, mercury, and arsenic. Then they would heat it up, the silver would rise to the top, and then they would pour it into molds to make silver bars. So very toxic, but there's still some silver attached to the walls. We are making margaritas in this later if you guys want to come on back.
Yeah.
I do have to warn you guys though, you probably will end up like this guy right over here. That is a real human skull that was found here on the property in the late 1800s. We originally thought it was a male, so we named him Chuck, but people have been coming in recently saying that based on the way the eye sockets are shaped, it is most likely a female. And whenever we ask our spirits about it, we always get the name Veronica, so we just changed her name to Ronnie. Yeah, right?
They don't believe in ghosts.
Oh, you guys don't?
I do.
Okay. You'd like to. Yeah, I mean, we do night investigations or overnight, so if you guys are interested in anything like that, if you want to kind of concrete the evidence on it, they are very fun, so just give us a call on our website. It is our number, and then, yeah.
I try to call the Silver Queen, but the haunted rooms are like booked.
Yeah, I bet. I know, I want to stay there as well, but they're always booked.
Yeah. I know, every time I call them, they're like, room 11 and 13 are booked. But
Yeah.
the rest of the rooms are available.
Yeah, people will go there strictly for the ghosts. They're like, oh,
Yeah.
what's going to happen?
He's like, we got 23 other rooms. I'm like, I don't know what those two are.
Yeah. Just be like, oh, just put my name down for
Yeah.
when they're not booked. So this is, I'll show you guys a few pictures we've caught in the display case. Some of our miners.
Oh. Ooh, okay, wow.
So they
Yeah.
never left.
Never left.
This next one is an actual apparition.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so you might catch them in your video later.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you don't
if
see
you
them
do-
until you get home.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you do, just make sure you go inflatable.
It's okay.
These light fixtures are all original to the house. They used to be gas, but they were converted into electricity by Thomas Edison himself. Yeah. I'll show you guys a few of the most important people in this photo really quickly. So this is Ulysses S. Grant and his wife Julia. This is their son, Grant Jr. Neither of them were looking at the camera because they were both severely cross-eyed. So they found that if they looked away from the camera, no one would be able to tell. Oops. This is John Mackay. This is James Fair, John Mackay's business partner, and who we also believe to be our shadow man nowadays. The reason why we think it's him is because when he was alive, he had a limp. So sometimes when we hear walking around upstairs, we kind of hear a footstep and then dragging. And that's usually when he's seen walking by. This is Mr. Yanada. He was John Mackay's personal assistant. And back then, Asian immigrants were highly discriminated against.
Yeah.
They would even have to walk in the abandoned mining tunnels underground just because it was so unsafe for them to walk the streets. They would end up getting beat up, shot at, or even killed. So, yeah, pretty big deal that he was in the photo. Right in front of Grant, especially. Yeah, right? We had a pretty famous celebrity stay here a little bit more recently. He was in town for the 1995 movie called Dead Men. You guys know who this is?
Yeah.
You want to say his name?
I feel like I'm wrong.
Is it done yet?
Yeah,
I was
good job.
thinking.
Yeah, and I was like, I don't know. I know, people always second guess themselves. So this is,
It looks like Michael Jackson for this.
I know, right? People always guess that. So he actually took one look at the mansion and decided he wanted to stay here to get into character. He was actually able to stay right upstairs in Mr. Mackay's bedroom. He didn't believe in the paranormal before he stayed here though, so he thought he'd be brave enough to stay for about a month. It was cut short to only 3 days because on his third night here, he was woken up by a little girl jumping up and down on his bed in a full white Victorian nightgown. He actually thought we were playing a little trick on him, so when he looked around the entire house and realized he was all alone, he ran right out the front door and vowed never to come back. This is her. Her name is Emma. We believe she was a servant's daughter who died at the age of 6 due to tuberculosis. I'll show you guys another one we caught of Emma. It's a little harder to tell, so I'll point her out. These are her eyes, her nose, her arm, her nightgown, and then her feet down here. You guys see her?
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you're looking back at your footage, just make sure you look for every little thing. Sometimes it's really obvious that they're there, and sometimes it's not. This is our vault. You guys are welcome to walk in. Just watch out for the cement lip on the floor. This was a well-kept secret up until 1883 when 2 robbers tried to break in. But they did not know about the armed guard that was right inside, so when they opened the door, they were met with a shotgun and shot and killed right up here on the carpet.
Man, imagine your job was to sit in there all day long.
Right? I'm sure he was paid a lot though,
Yeah.
so it was worth it. Take a picture. We'll move on in here with you guys.
My night ones, which I'm turning on.
Like for 10 hours a day, you're hiding in the
Yeah.
in the window.
So this is our parlor room. This mirror is one of 5 in all of Virginia City, but it's the most expensive because of the gold leaf frame around it. And if you guys haven't seen any of the other ones yet, they're all backed with diamond dust.
And when was that? What year was this built?
This was built in 1859.
The mirror and
The
the
mirror. I think that was 1870s.
Yeah, they're in the 1870s.
Yeah.
70s? Okay.
Because they
Yeah.
have a bunch of those at the Washoe Club.
Yeah.
They have like 5 of them.
Yeah, there's a bunch uptown. I know
Yeah.
that one of the saloons has them as well, I think,
Yeah.
and then the visitor center might have one as
Yeah.
well. So yeah, they're very cool but very expensive.
Yeah.
This mantle is hand carved with tiger oak and brought all the way from England. The man who made them only made 3 that are in the world. There's this one here. There's one in Thomas Jefferson's house in Monticello, and the very last one is actually in the White House. I do believe the other 2 are painted over.
Also, the White House actually has the same.
Yes. Yeah, that one's painted white, unfortunately, but.
What the design, like all the little designs, is
Yes.
exactly the same
Yep.
in a White House.
Yeah, pretty
Awesome.
cool, right?
Yeah, yeah, that is pretty cool.
That is John Mackay, and this is his wife, Mary Louise Mackay. As you can tell by her face, she really did not like it here in Virginia City too much. That was because there was about 40,000 people on the mountain at the time. That mixed with the gambling, the drinking, and the prostitution was just not her cup of tea. So John bought her a nice little house in Paris, France.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is where she raised their 2 sons, William and Clarence. Their oldest son, William. I heard someone ring the doorbell. Oh, yeah, someone did. That's alright, they'll wait. But yeah, so that's where she raised their two sons, William and Clarence. Their oldest son, William, unfortunately died at the age of 25 due to a horseback riding accident. But this is their youngest son, Clarence, with his wife, Catherine. As a wedding gift, the Mackeys got them 650 acres in Long Island, called Harbor Hill, where they built this. Just a tiny little shack.
Yeah, just a little shack.
Oh, just a little, huh?
This one was the inspiration
Wow.
for The Great Gatsby, so pretty cool.
Yeah.
When John died in 1902, Clarence inherited $30 million from him. With that money, they built him a statue that is at UNR right now. They also built the Mackay Stadium and built and founded the Mackay School of Mines in honor of him. Are you guys familiar with where that is?
Yeah.
Perfect. Just
I
like
think
to
it's like
check.
school of engineering now. I think
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, and then with the rest of that inheritance money, Clarence invested it in the stock market in the 20s. So he did lose everything in the crash, went completely bankrupt. But yeah, so those are their three children. There is Catherine on the left. She lived a very normal life compared to her brother John, who's in the middle. He grew up to inherit the Long Island mansion that I showed you guys, but he did not want to pay the taxes on both the house and the land, so he ended up dynamiting the house and collecting the insurance money. Their little sister Ellen on the right, she grew up and eloped with one of our most famous song composers who wrote God Bless America, White Christmas, and more. His name was Irving Berlin. But since Irving was Jewish and the Mackeys were Irish Catholic, Clarence did not approve of the marriage, so he ended up disowning and disinheriting Ellen. Despite all of that, they actually stayed married for 63 years until Ellen died in 1988. Irving died a year later at 101 of a broken heart. She was the love of his life. Mrs. Mackay had those chairs made in honor of Grant's election in 1869. She actually hand embroidered each of the stars on them, though.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, very talented.
1869, both of those chairs?
Yes.
That one.
Ulysses.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Wow.
Who's Ulysses?
Who's Ulysses?
Yeah. What did he do?
Build something?
No, he was the president.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah, Mrs. Mackay actually wanted Grant to take those back to the White House with him, but he wanted to leave a little piece of him here, so we're very lucky to still have them.
Yeah.
If you guys look on the outskirts of the rugs, that is the original carpet. It was walked up by Ulysses S. Grant, Mark Twain, Alexander Graham Bell, Thomas Edison, all of them.
Which one?
The carpet right over
The
here.
carpet.
I was looking at that.
Oh, this one.
Yeah, so you guys are welcome to touch
This
it.
one, yeah.
Yeah. It's
Kinda-
actually a lot more worn out underneath the brown rug, so if you wanted to lift that up and look, it's kind of crazy.
Is this piano 1800s too? 18 something?
Yes, the organ is
Organ?
1800s. Yeah. The picture on the organ, that is actually a post-mortem picture of their maid Harriet. Yeah. Her eyes have been sewn open, her mouth is sewn shut, and her hands are bound together. Kind of creepy.
No wonder I was like that.
Yeah. People always say, oh, her eyes follow me. I'll show you guys a few more ghost pictures. Right there are the yellow chairs. We actually used to have a little shade in here. And the reflection, we caught Harriet walking from the office into the parlor room.
Why is the mirror not there anymore?
We moved it up into the bathroom, and I
Oh.
think we had to make room for the chair because the owner, like I said, is obsessed with buying antiques, so kind of have to move stuff to make room. This last one is a video of our shadow man. This is our caretaker. She lives.
This is upstairs on the second floor. There's about 3-4 rooms here. A lot of the stuff here is also antique, very old. Older furniture still there. This is looking through the window from the second floor. And I'm going down the stairs now to the first floor. This is me going outside now to the patio in the backyard. Also, if you look around, you could still see some snow over there. Thank you guys for watching this video of Virginia City. I hope to see you guys in the next video. Please subscribe, like, and comment.